Last year's league champions, the Sheffield Steelers, are in hot goal-scoring form, and they're desperate to make the B&H final for the first time. It's been all change on the Flyers bench this week. Fife will be fired up as coach Morrison tries to make his mark. Kirkcaldy Ice Rink stages the first of the two semi-final first legs you can see live on Sky this weekend. Five Flyers against the favourite Sheffield Steelers. Well, tomorrow we're going to be in Humberside for the Hawks against the Panthers. This evening, though, it's Flyers against the Steelers. Very good evening. Welcome to Scotland, and welcome as well to Bob Correll. Bob, our expert Canadian, but you're quite familiar with these parts.
Well, it's homeland for me now, Steve, and it's like a home game for me here this evening, so I'm looking forward to this one.
A little bit of a problem maybe for the Five Flyers, or how do you see it? They've got a new coach, he's also a player, Mark Morrison. How's he going to cope?
Well, it's a time of transition for him, no question, with this change happening. But in the same breath, you know, all the players are professionals. They'll work very hard at it. And as a result of that, you know, I think that they'll very much rise to the occasion. They realize the importance of a game like this.
Well, Fife have been playing in this rink for 60 years. They're a proud old club, flying the flag for Scotland still at the top level of British ice hockey. They've been runners-up a couple of times in the Premier Division. They were the playoff winners back in 84-85. They've been to the semi-final and they've been to the final and were runners-up of this competition as well in the past. They got to the semi-final this time round as winners of their group, but they had a very tough quarter-final with Newcastle. They were separated by just one goal over two legs. Very pleased to be here, I'm sure, the Five Flyers. Now, how are they going to play this one against the Sheffield Steelers?
Well, certainly they're going to try and play it tight, Steve. I mean, they've got the type of lineup there that they know that they've got certain guys that can put the puck in the net, and they'll be looking to try and get to the puck to those players, i.e. your Mark Morrisons and your Chris Palmers. They'll try and get the puck out of their own zone as best and as quick as possible, and I think they'll hope for hot goaltending as well.
Well, the Sheffield Steelers are the youngest club in the top flight of British ice hockey. They were the double winners last year, the playoffs as well as the Premier Division. They've only ever been to the semi-final of this competition before. That was last year. They got to the semi-final this time round. They lost one game, that was against Nottingham in their semi-final. And they lost the home leg of their quarter-final, but went through an aggregate against Cardiff in an epic game, which you saw on Sky. Well, Sheffield Steelers, they're such a hot side, aren't they?
They are. They've just gone from strength to strength in the sense that, you know, they started out in Holland in the Europa Cup. They played very, very well there. And, you know, game in and game out at the moment, they're certainly at the top level.
Well, that's what we think of what's to come. What do the two camps themselves think all about it? Well, we can find out because Gia's been speaking to players from both sides.
We want to keep the winning ways going. It's important this time of year that you don't fall into the trap of losing games. Once that starts, you start to question what you're doing. Right now, we're on a pretty good roll. We'd like to keep doing that.
Well, I think we've been prepared all week to be the underdogs, and I think we like that position. We have nothing to lose. You know, Sheffield's expected to win this series, and I think we're right where we want to be. No pressure, and I think we'll play better that way, nice and loose.
It's always nerve-wracking coming home. But the determination is always there. We've got to go out. I've got to do a job. I'm here playing against a few friends out there, but there's no friends once you get on the ice.
Well, Les Milley knows this rink well. It's an intimidating place. It's probably the most intimidating of all, Bob.
It is. The supporters here really get behind their club. They take their hockey very, very seriously. But more importantly, it's quite a wide rink, and that does cause difficulties for defensive players. It's great for forwards, but the defensemen struggle with it.
Okay, well, Fife have had a bit of an up-and-down week. They lost their coach, as we've already said, Ron Plum. He's been replaced by Mark Morrison. A week or so ago, they also lost one of their top defensemen as well. That was Paul Hand, and that means more responsibility on the shoulders of Canadian Doug Marsden, who has a bit of a high-flying life all round, really, as Gia found out earlier this week.
Good afternoon, Doug Marsden.
Deals to make, cars to lease. It's a busy world for a sales executive in a car leasing firm. But Fife defenseman Doug Marsden has bigger things on his mind, like how to get past the Sheffield Steelers to take the underdogs Fife into the B&H Cup final.
We have to go in with the attitude that we can win and try and keep them from scoring goals and just take our chances when they come. but we're against it. We're up against it against Sheffield. Quality team, quality players all the way down the line.
Last year, in Doug's first season with the Flyers, he was voted the most valuable player by not only the press and the fans, but by his teammates as well.
I didn't know very much about Kakati. I'd never been there until I was released by Paisley and picked up by the club. And the rink's old, big, cold, but I like the big ice surface. That's beneficial to me. And as far as the guys go, we have a blast. I was welcomed right from the get-go last year. And I stayed through the summer and got to know them all that much better from being out in the summertime, and we have a good time.
Kirkcaldy is quite a distance from most of the other Premier League teams, so is it tiring having to travel so much every weekend?
There's lots of time spent on the bus, lots of games where you play at home on a Saturday and then get up early in the morning. Like this weekend coming up, you have Sheffield Saturday night at home, and from the way it sounds, after Sunday morning, we're up and we're on the bus 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then after the game, we'll be back on the bus and then back up the road, and we won't get in until, sometimes 3, 4 in the morning. And when you have to come to work, it doesn't leave a lot of time for sleeping, especially when there's a couple beers after the game.
So what do the people that you work with think about your hockey?
Well, I don't think that many of them have actually seen a game. They see me come in here with bumps and bruises and my lip this week, and they think that it's quite a vicious game, so they're all excited about seeing it. Actually, when I first came here, I didn't want to mix too much my ice hockey with this job. I wanted to keep both separate and, just try and be professional at both. When I come to work, I was working for Lex Vehicle Leasing here, and when I was playing ice hockey, I was putting all my time and energy towards, the Fife Flyers. So I've really tried to separate that, but it's difficult because, you speak to customers and they're a customer here, and they're also maybe an ice hockey fan. And you're not Doug Marsden from the Fife Flyers. Oh, yeah, I am, but it's a little embarrassing sometimes to a certain extent. But it's good. It's good.
So your position is basically sales executive. Have you always
Yeah.
done work like that?
Yeah, I used to sell cars in the summertime in Canada, and then when I was playing.
Not a dodgy second-hand car dealer, are you?
No, not anymore. No, I never was. I used to sell second-hand cars though, but it was a good company. It was for a Ford company in Canada, and then I moved from there and taught with marketing in Toronto while I was playing ice hockey at the same time. So this isn't really all that new to me. It's just new to me here in Scotland.
And finally, about this weekend's matchup. With Fife being third from the bottom in the league, plagued by injuries and a changing lineup, has qualifying for the semis raised the Flyers' confidence?
We've been fortunate in the Benson Hedges Cup. We've got through the first round, played off against Whitley Bay. We're fortunate to get through there. A couple tough games with our injuries and players missing. But now we've got Sheffield.
How do you think that's going to be?
David and Goliath.
The slings and the stones are ready. We'll have live and exclusive the second and third periods of this game coming very shortly here on Sky. But first of all, let's take a look at the highlights of the opening period with the commentators Bob Corral and first of all, Tony Millar.
Oh, the puck still deep in the Flyers' defensive zone. Taken round behind his own net by Alistair Reid, looking for his own man, loses possession. Tony Hands behind the net for the Steelers, looking for the man on point. Kellen's one side, O'Connor's the other side, but Flyers clear it out. Good piece of control there, and a lovely piece of skating by Palmer to put the home side in front. Chris Palmer with his 24th Benson and Hedges goal of the season has made it 5-1, Steelers 0.
Chris Palmer can certainly score goals. He takes that pass from Mark Morrison, steps in alone, puts it upstairs on Davy Graham. Nice catch of that pass. Chris Palmer in alone, right up in the top of the net.
Abel clears the danger to Billy, the Steelers. Abel again with his captain, Ron Shufra, skating powerfully to get it out of the defensive zone to Tony Hand. Lovely pass from Hand. Can the Steelers equalise? Yes, they do. Tommy Plummer with the equaliser. Tony Hand with the assist. Lovely skills from Hand, but the finish from Plummer was effective.
The creativity of Tony Hand working with Steve Nemeth, putting him in alone, and he makes no mistake to put that behind Bernie McCrone. Tony Hand with the puck just in over the blue line. Nice little pass into Stevie Nemeth to put Sheffield on the scoreboard.
Billy it is that comes back. Hand is back on the ice. Steelers back to straighten. Here goes Tony Hand. Could he grab a second here? Yes, he does. Straight off the bench, and Tony Hand grabs Steelers second to make it Flyers 1, Steelers 2.
Tony Hand coming out of the penalty box to pick up this nice pass, going in alone on Bernie McCrone. He looks up, takes a slap shot, makes no mistake.
To battle back here. Can they pull it back before the interval? King gets it in. It goes Morrison. He gets a backhander in, and that's the equaliser. Morrison grabbing his 18th Benson and Hedges goal of the season to make it Flyers 2, Sheffield Steelers 2. Pulling it back brilliantly there. And what an effort for the Flyers to come back from it dead. There's Morrison skating, sells the dummy brilliantly, eventually gets the shot away on his backhand. Dave Graham loses it. He doesn't see it. It's 2-2.
Well, it's a great first period. 4 goals, they've been shared between the two sides, 2 goals each. Bob Corral has come up to the studio to join me. Bob, is that very much a fair reflection of the way the first period went?
True reflection of the first period, Steve. Very even play amongst a couple of opportunities for both sides. But at the end of it all, 2-2, a couple of nice goals by both sides, and I think we've got ourselves set for a very good hockey game.
I'd have to agree with you there. Going to be something quite special, I think. Keeps throwing up some special matches, this competition so far this season. Coming up, the second and third periods live and exclusive here on Sky, so don't go away. We've got that, all the action still to come.